I'm gonna go get started, because if I leave things the way they are, you guys, I will be forever fiddling and trying to make sure that everything is right. Anyway, so pardon my mess. We are gonna get started, you guys. And tonight, like I mentioned in the description, well, first of all, I am Caron Bailey. I am your independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I have been a demonstrator for over 7 years now, and I am loving my Stampin' Up journey. If anybody joins me, please, please, please take a minute to come on in and say hello, and let's chat. Okay? If I can, I will. Anyway, I am going to feature today the stamp set from the annual catalog, and it's annual catalog, the May 22 to 2023 April. And the stamp set we're gonna work with today is the Wisteria Wishes. I don't even know why I was completely intrigued by this set, but I really was. I liked it, and it was one of the very first ones that I purchased when the catalog went live. And I'm getting ready to jump right into it and get things started. So again, this is on page 92 of the catalog, and it comes with, let's see what's in here, the Wisteria Wishes, and it is a photopolymer set. And the dies are let's see, they're beautiful too. And all of the dies in here will work with the mini cut and emboss machine. So you don't have to worry about, well, maybe except this one. That one won't work on that. So let's break into this and what we're doing tonight, and let's see where we are. I am going to case the catalog. And in case you don't know what case means, case stands for copy and share. And if you add the E to the end of it, it's copy and share everything. So we're just going to copy and share. I may not do everything tonight, but I believe I'm going to work on this this card, and this card will be the two that I'm going to create tonight. And I'm going to try to get everything done within the hour. Okay? So what I see from this bundle or this card, this is going to be... I chose, let me put it off to the side so I can grab it later. I'm going to work in Garden Green. That's the color that I'm using, because that's what I saw when I worked on this for the card. Okay, and so your panel is going to be, this is going to be a standard A2 card base, and it's cut on it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And when I looked at the image, it seemed to me that this was a 3 3/4 by 5-inch panel, so that's what I cut. So you'll need a panel that is 3 3/4 by 5. You're going to need some basic white for die cutting, and also for the inside of your card. There's going to be some heat embossing. I think I saw that as well. So let's go and get started. How is everyone doing today? I hope everybody's doing okay. You guys, and this is just going to be a chat session for me, right? I love stamping with you guys, but unfortunately, man, when I get home from work, I'm absolutely exhausted, and I just don't have the time to get it done. And so I spend an awful lot of time, I spend hours actually on Saturday and Sunday. That's my craft time, is Saturday and Sunday. And unless I have events or anything to go on Saturday, okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm conditioning or priming the stamp, okay? Just so that it'll take the color a little bit better when we start. Now this first card is very simple, if you ask me. It is really just stamp the image on the bottom on the 3 3/4 panel, probably heat emboss, and then a die cut. So that's all there is to this card. Very simple. So this shouldn't take us a lot of time, and it's to be something that is easily reproduced by anyone. So why do I case? I case the catalog primarily because, you guys, the artists that created these the images that are in the catalog, they've been through a lot of time and a lot of trouble. And so I don't think that there's anything harmful in showing appreciation for what their hard work by, you know, recreating. Now, you don't have to copy and share everything like down to the color and everything like that, but you could use everything for inspiration. All right. So, I used some Versamark to stamp the image. Now, it seemed like to me in the catalog that they probably did tone on tone, so they probably stamped it with, in garden green ink. I didn't want to do that, okay? I love heat embossing, so I tend to, in every chance that I get, I tend to employ that method, okay? And I'm gonna grab the stamp set, the sentiment. I don't need anything that says hang in there, so okay, so I'm gonna go with the To a Friend Who's All Kinds of Wonderful. Because I think I can always send something like that to a friend of mine. All right, let's mount this guy on a block. All right, prime him as well. So I had these little containers from the dollar store. Well, it's a $1.25 store now. And this is how I store my my embossing powders. I actually put them in here. It's just easier for me to get to. And then I do have the heat emboss set, but I am going to just work with some coffee filters. I am a little cramped for space, so I'm going to do my best to use the space that I have, okay? Somebody just joined me. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pour the clear, and this is clear heat emboss, clear embossing powder. And this is the little brush that came in the little kit and set. And it just gives you a bigger area to pat the excess embossing powder off into. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to cover this because I don't want to get mistaken when I'm ready for the white. Okay, and so I've done that. Now I'm going to do the sentiment, and I'm going to use again with the clear, the Versamark. All right, I should have my my mat under here because this is photopolymer. This is photopolymer, so you should have your mat on there, right? And now I'm just going to stamp my sentiment where I want that to be. in the bottom corner. Make sure it's as lined up and as straight as I can possibly get it, because y'all know I can't do anything straight. All right, there we go. The CKC San Marcos is in convention is in San Marcos tomorrow. I'm going to be going down there. Has anybody been to the CKC convention before? I've been to the ones in Arlington, but I didn't make it there this year, so I'm going to go to the one that's about an hour away from me, which is in San Marcos. Right, and now I'm going to add the white heat embossing powder on my letters. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to use the brush again, make sure I don't have any excess powder anywhere. Like so. And then I'm going to grab my heat emboss, or my heat gun, and get this going. So pardon the noise. And you'll see when it starts to, the powder starts to melt. You see it changing? When this is all that color, you'll know that you'll have completely melted the embossing powder. There you go. And you just kind of want to make sure that you have it all embossed, because there's nothing like thinking it's all done and then brushing your finger over it and then realizing, hey, it's not done. That is never a good thing. All right, there we go. Done. Okay, so we're gonna set this aside for just a little bit. Let's bring our catalog back in just for a little refresher. So we're going to end up stamping all of this and then die cutting it. Okay. All right. So here we go with a piece of basic white. Let's put this guy back on the... Yeah, I'm one of those people, I tend to put things away almost immediately. I can't tell you the amount of times that I have taken a stamp or an image or something off of a block, or off of the what it came in, the acetate, and then when I'm ready to put everything away, I just can't find it, and then I'm really upset. So I have decided that the best thing for me to do... why did I put that away? I'm gonna need that. Yeah, I wasn't thinking. I think it'll go on this one, but I have a block. Okay, let's put this back here. We're gonna need that. You're not big enough. We're gonna grab, I think this is the D block. And we're just gonna plop that right on there. And let's see. I think it's a Highland Heather, I think is the color. Or Orchid Oasis. I'm gonna stamp it in both. I'm not sure which one I'll like, so I'm gonna stamp it in both and see what I come up with. Again, I'm priming the stamp. It's the first time I've used it, and so because it's the first time I've used it, the tendency for it to totally absorb the ink, it just needs a little help that way. Oh, this might be good. It's a little dark. Maybe if I stamped off a little bit, and let's see what it looks like. No, that's dark. So it's probably not that one. Let me grab my, I think it's Highland Heather. Okay. Doesn't have to be exact, but we're gonna go try Highland Heather and see if that is the tone. Because I think Wisteria is kind of purplish, right? So let's stamp. Yeah, I think it's more the Wisteria or Highland Heather. Yeah, I kind of like this one, but I'm thinking it's more here. I think for this card and for casing, I'm gonna go with the Orchid Oasis. But I do believe maybe, and it kind of looks a little bluish, so I'm not even sure now. Oh my goodness, I gotta ask somebody. Anyway, we've got that, and then we need to stamp the leaf or the stem part, and that should be done in Garden Green. And I just didn't keep things where they needed to be. And I'm gonna turn this over. I think this can fit here. No, I'm gonna stamp it on something else. I'm gonna stamp it on another piece of basic white. And get that going right here. Okay, so now that we've got our images stamped, obviously the mini stamping cut and emboss is narrow, so we can't fit this whole thing in there. So all I'm gonna do, I'm making a mess, is I'm just gonna cut this guy straight down the middle, like so, into a smaller piece that will fit through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Alrighty. So now let's put these aside for a second. The beauty of the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is that for people like me that are working with minimal space, we can definitely bring this puppy out and get it done. So let's grab the die. No, it's not that one. And I'm gonna die cut both of them because I think I'll definitely use the Highland Heather one on another. So let me show you what I'm doing. I am lining the die up to the stamped image that we're getting ready to die cut. Okay, and I'm taking a little piece of washi tape . You could use Post-it note if you have, or whatever you need, something that's low tack, that will help this to adhere so that it doesn't move. See, like it moved there already. So let's line it back up like so, and I'm just gonna put this right here like so, and then die cut. Okay, and here we go, y'all. I'm gonna see this puppy come right through. There we go. And we have die cut the Highland Heather piece. Don't throw this away, okay? Okay, so there's the Highland Heather piece. And then we're gonna cut the one that's in Orchid Oasis. I think that's the one I'm gonna use for this card. Make your sandwich, and with the mini cut and emboss, it tells you what you need. It's the one plate and then the 2 cutting plates. That's how simple it is. I highly recommend that you alternate when you turn, you rotate your cutting plates. There we go. So here we go. Here's our 2 pieces. I think I really like both of them. What do you think? Okay, we'll decide. We'll play a little bit and we'll see which one we're gonna work with. I gotta get one of those metal metal pieces. You know, the ones I'm talking about. Yeah. So that when I'm using a die, if I don't have time to put it away right away, and I wouldn't lose it. Like I thought I just lost this one right here. Okay, and that can go there. And now we're gonna do the same thing. Make sure that we align everything. Now let me give you a little tip as well. Do you see these little holes in the die? If you can see these little holes, these are little, I think they're called reference points. I think that's the term for them. And so you have to just make sure if you can see, like in this case, this will be one of those, the stem coming down. So as long as you're able to see what you stamped, you will cut this fairly close to how it needs to be cut. Because they're reference points, they're guides. See? And then this little notch right here lines up with this little notch right here in the image. So I'm going to try to line it up so that you can see what I mean. Right there. Right? And then the other reference points are like so. Sorry. There we go. I think that's it. Yep. I'm looking at it off. I'm looking at it a little bit off, so I am so I'm really hoping that I get it aligned. Because I'm not trying to get my head in the camera. You don't need to see my bald head. Alright, so hopefully I got it as close as I can. And I'm just going to make that sandwich again and get this run through the embossing machine. I think it moved a little bit because now, yeah. Sometimes I'm really not as picky, but I really want this one to come out really nice. So I'm going to take this off camera for just a little bit so I can make sure I have it aligned properly. And all the reference points are where they need to be. I think there we go. Perfect. Now we're going to die cut away. Have you guys looked at the items in Celebration yet? Do you have a favorite? Oh my gosh, I love all of the Celebration items. I missed out on the, what was it? I think it was the tree lot dies that was in there. I missed that one. Yeah, I missed, see, somehow or the other, this one came off. I'm not sure how I misaligned that one. So something happened. Either way, it is what it is. It is a card. It's a handmade card. Let's put the plates and everything away. And now we're going to get to assembling this card. So as you can see, these are all meant to line up like so. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I am going to come in with some glue dots. Let's go with the bigger ones. And I'm going to put them, let's see, I have it on this little roll. So I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put one over here. And I'm going to put one over here. Okay. Now with that, let's turn this guy over. And then we're just going to make sure, you see what I'm doing? That we line everything up and adhere that right there. So this is what you have. How are we doing with the catalog so far? You see it? All right. And so now all I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure this is off just a little bit, because I want to be able to see the heat embossed image that I did on the card base. Okay, and then I'm just going to go in. Do I want to pop this up? Because I'm definitely going to pop this part up. And you know I love dimensions, right? Dimensionals. Where are my pop dots? There they are. So I'm popping everybody up. Sorry, y'all. I'm popping everybody up. Yeah. Oops, I forgot I had those little glue dot thingies on the back. So we're just going to put one here. Oops. I'm going to put one here. I have this running joke with my girlfriends, my stamping friends. How many glue dots does it take to make Caron happy when, or not glue dots, dimensionals, when she's creating? And the answer is a lot. The answer is a lot. As long as you say a lot, you'll be all right. That might be a little big for that, so I'm gonna have to trim this puppy down just a tad. Does anybody have kids in school? I don't have any kids, so I don't have to, I don't have any of that back to school angsts that some parents have. Thank goodness. I love my Take Your Pick tool, you guys. I think this is one of the most incredible tools that you have. If you don't know about this tool, you have the pick side. If you turn it, unlock it, you have a little spatula side. And then on this side, you have a little bit of a gummy thing here that you can use for embellishments to pick those up. And then it also has like a brush. I don't really use the brush piece a lot, but there's a brush attachment that you can use for brushing the paper out of the die, when you die cut. You can use that. So here we go. All right, so this is off. We're just gonna line this puppy up. Right, again, I want to make sure that I see the heat embossed image that I did earlier. So this is what I'm gonna do, just like so. And there you go. Now I'm gonna come right in here with I'm gonna come in with some of the foam adhesive sheets, not the glue dots, because I go through a whole pad of those. And I'm gonna get this guy ready for mounting onto the card base. We're almost done with this card. It's very simple, and I know I took a lot of time, but I was talking, which is kind of it could have been done a little bit faster. So it's not one that's going to take a lot of time. And the beauty about these sheets is that you can cut them down to the size that you need. Normally when I do them, I don't cut them exactly to fit, like corner to corner. I don't know. I don't. Make sure I burnish my card base like so. And then I'm just gonna attach, mount. Wait, this doesn't seem straight. See, it came off a little bit. I'm usually not so anal about things. I'm usually not. But I want to make sure that the fold is burnished properly. Guess who forgot that they had taken that thing off? Huh. All right. And then all I'm going to do is mount this to this, and card number 1 will be done. Like so. Okay. Now if anybody knows me, you know something is missing. And that something is called bling. I love me some bling. I'm looking for, there's some champagne gems. I'm looking for those. Of course, I had them out and now I can't find them, which is par for my course. So I do have other ones, so I'm gonna just start another sheet. And these are the champagne rhinestone basic jewels. That's what those are called. And I'm just going to attach 3 of them. A big one. And this is what I mean about the putty end. Just makes it so much easier. One right there. Let's go with a medium-sized one. That's gonna go right here. And then a small one. That's gonna go right here. Perfect. Alrighty, and here we go. This is our card, except for the inside. Let's see. I pre-cut a lot of my card bases. That way, all I need to do is just reach for them. They're already done. All right. And I'm a liquid glue girl. Oh, before I do that, I don't want to nick it inside. So I'm going to grab well, I hope I'm going to grab it because I'm not sure where the heck it went. There it is. And I'm going to, on the inside of my card, but I'm going to stamp off because I don't want it full strength on the inside. I don't know where my little... In case you guys can't tell, I am not prepared. But I had to come on. I hadn't stamped with y'all for a little bit, so I had to come on and stamp with you. So, and then I'm just gonna put this little leaf right down in the corner. So our inside is not naked. Now I'm gonna go in with the liquid glue. Oops. Open that. And then add the inner panel. And that inside is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. And here's the card. One of the things you'll always hear me say is no naked envelopes. And so I am going to decorate the envelope for this card. And you're going to see what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep this. And because of this ridge, I'm going to I have to make sure that I add enough pressure so that the seam, it doesn't seem like there's an actual seam there, if that makes any sense, what I just said. So there's that one. See? If you leave it like this, it doesn't look like there's a seam. And then I'm going to do another like here. Okay. And then I'm also going to take this guy and do the same. Okay. Remembering to, and I may get out a shot on this one to line up the wisteria. Like so. And like so. All right, y'all, card number 1 is completely done. So here we have our card and our envelope. Isn't this a nice, isn't this pretty? Something you would like to, when you receive this as a gift in the mail or a card just thinking about you? I love it. All right, so this card is completely finished, except deciding who I'm sending it to. Okay. Now I'm gonna make sure I put it in our clear envelope bags. I tend to do that just because I don't want it to get ruined. So, and I keep these in my arsenal when I need a quick card. It's already done. I'll stamp something on the inside, write a sentiment, and this card will be done. All right, you guys, card number 1 is done. And let me tell you, I think we did okay in recreating this card. The only thing I changed was I changed the sentiment because I didn't need to hang in there. I added some gems, and I think I went with the Orchid Oasis. I don't think they use Orchid Oasis on this one, but darn near identical to what the artist had intended when they designed this card. So we're gonna work on this card next. And you guys, I think I'm gonna go a little bit rogue. Well, not a little bit, a lot rogue on this one. And here's why. Okay. I think this paper is from the gingham pack that's in the mini catalog. But I got these were the pool party and soft sea foam cards and envelope that were in the that was an item in the celebration that sold out like almost immediately. So I'm gonna use that as my card base instead of that paper. Okay, I think this is a top fold card. I don't tend to do top fold cards, so that's not an issue for me. And let's get this one done and started. So we're gonna set all of this to the side, and we are going to use, I think it's the same one. So let me clean this off. Let me clean that off. And we're going to use a different coloring technique. All right. I'm looking for my Stampin' Scrub now. There it is. I have one of the older ones. Oldies but goodies. I'm just going to clean that off. It's ready to take more color. All right, so let's take a look at this and see if we can kind of figure out what happened here. All right, it looks like there's several different colors, and let me see where my markers are. Now in this one you can't use the alcohol markers. They might harm they will harm your stamp set. So you don't use the alcohol markers on that. You'll need to use your Stampin' Rights. And so I'm going to go with Pale Papaya. I'm going to go with Calypso Coral. And I think I'm going to go with Starry Sky. Those are the 3 colors I'm going to go with. Okay. Now, we're going to add the color directly to the stamp. Like so. And I'm using the side of the marker. Like so. Then I'm going to go in with my next lightest color, or darkest, yeah, next darker color. And then I'm going to do so. Just kind of there's no rhyme or reason as to how much you color or how much color you add, and no two will ever look the same because you might do different amounts. When you stamp. Okay, so that's how you can have a little bit of gradation in your colors. Okay, I'm gonna go right back over a little bit for a little blending. And do the same here. Perfect. I go reach right back over for one of those pieces of paper that I cut. Oh boy. I know I just heard my little pin go somewhere. Never a good thing when I lose the pin for this guy. Ever a good thing. There it is. I just lost it again. Sorry about that, you guys. That's what happens when you're a little disorganized. And you're worried about that guy, right? Don't be. Because what will happen is you'll do this called the huffing technique, and now you'll just huff. And then the ink will activate again. So. And that's what we have. Again, the colors that I used, Pale Papaya, Calypso Coral, and Starry Sky.
Which phone number? Contact the device that you want to call.
Okay. Now we're going to
Contact the device that you want to call.
Okay, now let's see what we see. Okay, that's a triple as well. Perfect. So I am going to guys, I am keeping on time. I think I will do this in 1 hour. Isn't that awesome? Amazing. I said I wouldn't keep you too long, and I'm gonna try to stick to that. Okay, let's take this off the block because we're gonna need this block, and we're gonna put these on this block, and that's what I'm gonna do here. Now that piece looks to me, it's not a 3 3/4 by 5 piece, that's for sure. I mean, you can make it whatever you want, but I think this seems to be maybe a 2 3/4. Let's see. Okay, it's only paper, right? So I'm gonna trim this 1, 2, exactly, to 2 3/4. I think that'll work for what I want for it to do. So 2 3/4. And I'm just gonna go by 5. Yeah. Perfect. Then all we're gonna do is we're gonna stamp. I'm gonna do this a little. It seems like they popped everything up, but I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna come right back in with the garden green again. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna come right back in with garden green. Make sure it has good coverage on the ink, on the stamp. I'm gonna line this up. And I'm taking some license here. Oh, I didn't have enough. That's not good coverage. Much better. Right? And I'm just gonna lay this on here like so. I think I'm gonna turn it over. Yeah. No, it worked. Okay, we're gonna leave it like that. And then we're gonna die cut these wisteria again. Let's put that aside for a second. Okay, let's get the wisteria on here. Well, I'm glad somebody popped in to join me. I'm gonna put that on here. We are gonna bring the mini cut and emboss right back in. Like so. Again, make our sandwich. And run it through the cut and emboss machine. And there we go. All right, let's take the machine out of the way. Release. And then we are gonna do something that looks a little bit like that. Okay, again, going back in with the dimensionals. What happened to the one that I started before? Here it is. Nope, that's not it. There we go. With our take your pick tool. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna need this little guy right back. Put him here. And that'll work perfect. All right. We're gonna put that one there. And we're gonna put that one here. Awesome. Remove the release. Alrighty. Then I'm just gonna line this up again, like so. And there you have that. All right. Whew. Now, let's see. So now I'm just going to do is adhere this panel to the card like so, card front. That seemed about right. I think it was it seemed a little bit narrower. But I did do 2 3/4 by 5. The 5 seems to be right. Let me see if I can trim it down just a tad. You got to remember now, there's no, in the catalog, there's no measurement. So I am kind of just eyeballing it. So now this is a 2.5. So this is 2.5 by 5. And we're going to adhere this here. Not going to use any adhesive because the sentiment, dimensionals I should say, because the sentiment seems to be popped up. We don't want it to be too big and too bulky when you're having to mail it. Again, using the lines to line it up, because I don't do anything straight, y'all. So I need all the guides that I can get. Right, so okay. All right, so next thing to do is stamp our sentiment. Get the sentiment mounted, and this card will be done. I got 1 minute to get all that stuff done. You guys, I try to be very cognizant of your time and try very hard not to go over a long period of time. I think I'm going to keep the same sentiment because that seemed to work. I'm going to stamp the sentiment in Starry Sky. There we go. I hate when I can't find my things, but it's nobody's fault but my own. Okay, and I'm gonna stamp the sentiment on a scrap piece of basic white. Like so. Alrighty. And they went direct just with a rectangle, a rectangular-ish cut. They just cut a panel. I think I'm going to use one of my punches. I think. I may not, but in my mind I'm thinking I will. Again, stamp and casing is all about the inspiration. And let's see. I just love when I get to use some of my tools that I haven't used ever. That's a little bit too small, so we can't use that one. We might just have to live with a square. Let's see. This will be too big, I think. Oh, I know what I'm going to use. Duh. I'm gonna cut this, and I'm going to use the very best occasions, yes, to create my, to give myself a little bit of a decorative sentiment here. Let's hope I don't cut it off. If we do, there's more paper, and we'll just go ahead and do that. So the detail is a trio punch. So there's 3 different things you can do with it. You can do fancy, you can do a fancy board or edge. This one will kind of give you like a square, a straight line, so if you wanted to do like a tag, and then this one will give you like a little hole if you wanted to put like maybe what is that thing called? So let's hope I don't like a gift card. Sorry, that's the term I was looking for. Let's hope I don't mess this up. If not, if I do, it's more paper. So you see, right? You could leave it like that, but I think I'm gonna turn it. Like so. Oh, almost. Almost. Look at this. We just created our own sentiment here. All right, so our own little punch here. So what I'm gonna do, I think the last thing that I saw is there's a piece of ribbon, and it's probably the, not probably, it is the metallic, I don't know where those things are. Goodness gravy. Can you tell again, I was not prepared. Let me step away for a quick second so I can see if I can find that ribbon. It is one of the in color metallic ribbons, and I really want to use that. So I am gonna stop right there and post the finished image once I have found, put my hands on the ribbon. All right, you guys, so that's it for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining me tonight as I cased the catalog to create these 2 cards with y'all tonight. On that note, this is Carone Bailey. You guys, before I forget, we are still we're midway through Celebration. Celebration ends at the end of this month, August 31st. And if there's any items in the Celebration catalog that you would like to have, you probably need to think about your strategy.